I'm Tucker Eats, and this is my top 10 restaurants, Jakarta edition. We'll be going deep on Indonesian cuisine in the capital, demonstrating along the way the sheer diversity that is Indo food culture. And I'm going to throw a wild card into the mix too. So if that sounds like your vibe, well then, let's go. It's Jakarta, my favorite food city, and it's Tucker Eats, top 10 restaurants. This is as close as my top 10 gets to fast food. BKB. Think Nando's, but instead of Portuguese chicken, it's Indonesian fried duck. This place is all about the house specialty fried duck. Bebek.
Bebek kepahiang.
Kepahiang. Babes.
Babes.
Ah. Bebek kepahiang.
Iya, bebek kepahiang babes.
Ah, makasih.
Oriental.
Can I just break that apart? Look at that. They're very different to duck in Australia. It just seems more lean and it just has really succulent taste. Masterpiece. Oh my goodness, that is just a little piece of heaven. Now when I compared this place to Nando's, it's actually not like Nando's at all, but it's got a Nando's vibe for me. So I guess first, cooked bird, comes in half, spicy, they've got the chili, and it's kind of, is it fast food, isn't it? It's like that in-between kind of fast food. Please bring BKB to Australia. I promise you I will be your customer. There's a sizable ethnically Chinese community here in Jakarta, accounting for over 5% of the population. And they started moving in from southern China in the 17th century. So naturally, they've had a big influence on the food culture of the city. And my next restaurant, Bubur Kwangtung, pays testament to that. Bubur means congee. Let's go eat some. Even though it says Hong Kong in its signage, this food has existed long enough in Jakarta to be its own thing. Case in point, it's halal, so there's no pork found, and you find that in a lot of Chinese restaurants across the city, and the flavors have also evolved to match the local palate. So it's not Chinese food, it's Indonesian Chinese food. So I've gone for the bubur ayam with cakwe, or congee chicken with Chinese donut. And I've got some house specialty tofu on the side. Bubur ayam cakwe. So sweet and rich, you get the flavor of the stock and the sesame oil from the congee, and then the sweet from the Chinese sausage, as well as the different textures, the soft of the congee and the crunchy of the cakwe. That is some seriously good congee. Sweet, light garlic and soy flavor, and then seaweed notes as well. I love the feel of this place because it's that mixture of culture. It's got a real Chinese feel in some ways, but then all of the wait staff are Islamic and wearing hijabs. It really is a mixture of cultures, and I just love that. For me, it's all about flavor. And I love local street food places just like this, and hole-in-the-wall restaurants just like one over here. But in today's top 10, each restaurant must pass the "would my white friends eat here?" test. The idea is to ensure that tourists with higher standards than mine can still come to Jakarta and really enjoy the food scene. Right, where's next? I should take a moment to acknowledge Indonesian mall chain restaurants. I'm thinking Sate Khas Senayan, Leko, Rempa Bistro, etc. Relatively inexpensive, comfortable and clean Indonesian restaurants. They don't really belong in a top 10 list, but they're solid and reliable, and sometimes that's all you need. My favorite is Kafe Betawi. Let's go hit it. Now, Betawi cuisine is a fusion cuisine in essence. Arab, Malay, European influences, Chinese I think as well. We've got a couple of dishes here. Soto Betawi. Also got some rujak. This stock has got ramen vibes, a bit lighter than ramen I guess, or laksa vibes, but also a bit lighter than that. A really delicate, subtle, delicious, milky flavour. So this rujak is like a mixed fruit and vegetable platter. This sauce is so thick. It's got caramel notes and then shrimp paste notes as well. So complicated. Sweet, fishy and complex. Definitely not for the uninitiated, this rujak. Also, this restaurant does really good renditions of satay and grilled buntut. Solid, reliable, convenient. That's why it makes my list. I honestly thought the Balinese would go unrepresented in my top 10. There's Putu Made, which is decent, and Talawang too. But decent just isn't top 10 material. And then one fateful day, yesterday, I stumbled across this place. Get out of here, Danny. It's Ayam Betutu, Gilimanuk. Looks like I got here a bit early and they're not open yet. But they're out the front busying themselves cooking satay, Balinese satay, and they just gave me some. How nice is that? So let's try. So good, delicious. So I think I've ordered something, not 100% sure, and it doesn't really look like a restaurant, it looks more like a takeaway joint, but we'll see. So a great find, this place, and greeted with the typical Balinese hospitality as well. So this is Ayam Betutu and comes with a few sides, onions, greens, peanuts, rice, and satay. Is it satay lilit?
Sure.
Yep.
Spicy.
Spicy?
Yes.
All right, apparently it's spicy. Let's try. That is spicy. And it's got a turmeric hit. Wow, it really packs a punch. Spicy. Yeah. Sits in this liquid fire. It's having a good chuckle. At my expense, no doubt. Spicy but flavor overload. That is the divine and authentic flavors of Bali. It is satay lilit and it's ayam or chicken.
Very, very delicious.
Very, very delicious. 100% agree. Also comes with one of these guys, chicken feet. So I wonder if you noticed, in this top 10 list, I haven't had any rendang yet. Time to get that fixed, I reckon, with my next installment, Natrabu. For anyone with a keen eye, I'm sure you can't quite recognize it, but this was the place where I did the street food episode, the Jalan Jackson street food episode. And so, yeah, I have explored this place a bit, pretty cool. But for now, Natrabu. Let's go check it out.
Have a nice dinner, okay?
Selamat makan. Thank you. So here it is, Padang or Minang cuisine, and this is Natrabu. And typically in style, they'll bring all of the dishes to your table with some nasi, and you just help yourself to what you want and you pay for what you eat. So yeah, I guess it's a bit like sushi train where you just count up the dishes at the end, see how many you've got. So check that out. I'm gonna start with this egg. I was expecting it to be yum, but that is actually bang on. Herbs, big chili kick, and there's a real rich sweetness about it as well. So let's try the chicken curry. sensational. I'd describe that as a mild coconut curry. So much flavor, so rich. Again, I don't know how these dishes are so rich. Have a look at that. That is some ultimate rendang. I don't know where this was for the rendang challenge. Really rich, thick coconut. That, if you got to work for it, you got to chew a bit, but that for me is what rendang is. And the curry sauce is just so worth it. So there's this place, Natrabu. Another famous one is Pagi Sore, really good as well. And Sedahana, I love that one too. But yeah, I had to pick one of them. I could have gone for all three, honestly. And so I went for Natrabu. Now, Jakarta isn't known as a particularly walkable city, but on Sunday mornings, Sudirman Street closes down to traffic until 11 a.m. and makes way for pedestrians. And I'm walking north from Ben Hill up to my next restaurant. So there's a real festival atmosphere on a Sunday here. A lot of the side streets are closed and heaps of food vendors have been put in place. And then there's little bands like jazz bands and things along the way. So it's a really cool vibe. And if you're in Jakarta on a Sunday, get out of bed, come check it out. Presenting Beautika, which specializes in Manado cuisine from northern Sulawesi. Let's go check it out. So chicken on the bone, spring onions, lots of spring onions, chili, red and green chili, a fair amount of oil. Now that is flavor explosion. So I would describe that as very spicy. Manado food, I don't know much about it. I don't think it's a food that Westerners know much about. It's like a hidden Indonesian gem. And this archipelago is full of hidden Indonesian gems. There might be better Manado restaurants, I'm not sure, but this one is an absolute star. Definitely come down, try it out, and enjoy it. This beef is actually, it's a new flavor to me. I gotta say, this is an absolute star of a dish. Oh. So yeah, I've only seen sambal like this in the Manado restaurants, and what sets it apart is the cucumber. It's a nice fresh sambal, not cooked, and absolutely divine. So many different cuisines in this amazing archipelago. And they're all represented in this melting pot that is Jakarta. So foodies, stop what you're doing, jump on a plane, get over here and enjoy. Ignore the traffic. This next place is my go-to for Acehnese cuisine. It's located on the main street in Ben Hill. And no, it's not Aceh Connection, it's on the other side of the mosque. Let's go for a little walk. It's called Kanabu. Acehnese is another hidden gem of a cuisine with its own distinct characteristics. It's both time-honoured and refined. New flavours for the foodie's palate, who's willing to make the trip. But, is the food any good? Do you really need to ask? We have a soupy mie Aceh, sambal ganja, daging tangkap, and kari kambing. So, as always at Tucker Eats, it's a feast. It's closer to a Malaysian curry with a slight sour note, like a sour milk kind of note. So good. Wow, spicy, delicious. Everything here is absolutely delicious. And you know what? Everything here is nothing like any of the other restaurants we've explored today. Because Acehnese cuisine is distinct within Indonesian cuisine, but it's still Indonesian cuisine. They're cheating, basically. They've got like, how many, like 15 cuisines? Of course it's the best in the world. I recently filmed an episode here where I did a deep dive on this awesome food, and also I gave a little Acehnese history lesson. So if you're interested, check it out. If it's cafe culture and high-end Western restaurants that you're after, Check out this area, Senapati. It's the fancy part of Jakarta. And it's on the outskirts of SCBD, which is also the fancy part of Jakarta. My favorite resto cafe is up here on the right in Ashta Mall. Come take a look. This next place is neither Indonesian nor a restaurant. That's why I'm calling in my wild card. Yes, Danny. High five? Presenting Bakerman. Let's go. So perhaps not exactly Indonesian. I'd describe it as an East meets West fusion resto cafe. And the menu, it's amazing. Another option in the same mall is Coffee Academics, where you can get decent renditions of some Indonesian classics, like nasi goreng with oxtail. At Bakerman, I love their incredible short rib burger, and I love their ossobuco agnolotti with bone marrow. But today, for the sake of the video, it's got to be Indonesian. So I've gone with nasi goreng with escargot. Spicy fried rice with snails. Delicious. Snails, anybody? Comforting, delicious, still a little bit spicy, but I think the Westerners could generally handle it. Everything I've had here is amazing. Amazing food and on point for the more sensitive Western palate. Like Danny. I'm not gonna lie, Jakarta is massive, and yet most of these restaurants are in a narrow channel and walkable from the MRT. In a city where access is a problem, and macet or traffic jams are a constant issue, this corridor offers accessibility to a lot of the best of what the city has to offer. My Jakarta largely exists between the stations Bundaran HI in Central and Blok M in South. For my next pick, we're going upper class. We're going fancy. That's why I'm wearing my fancy procedure shirt. It's the kind of place where you wouldn't dine alone. Unless you're tucker no friends, of course. It's Kaum, it's here. Let's go take a look. Have a look at that. Tell me that's not good. Now this is from Maluku. Really fresh, citrusy notes. A strong chili in there. I can taste the ginseng leaves. The chili doesn't overpower it, but you get hits of it. And the sour of the pomelo. Delicate, subtle, balanced perfection. So good. And how's this setting? It's got to be the best seats in the house, right? So
This dendeng batokok is from Padang, Sumatera.
looks delicious. Thank you so
And
much.
This, one again, this the beef tongue.
Beef tongue, yeah.
Yes, beef tongue. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So this is from Sulawesi, and this is from Sumatra. Is that right?
This from Sumatra.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Nico, chef here at Kaum.
And then, of course, beef tongue. Surely you guys know how I feel about beef tongue. So the beef has been in a marinade. There's actually a note of bitterness about it as well. And then the tartness or the sourness of this sambal and the chili. So it's like got a bitter, sour, and spicy profile. This is called dendeng betatok, and it's a smoked beef jerky. Feel that smoked beef. That smokiness really comes through. For my Aussie friends that think that Indonesia consists of seminyak and canggu, well, guess what? You're in luck, because there's a Kaum at Potato Head Beach Club. I feel like the menu might be a little bit smaller than this one, but the quality is just as good. So, if you're into this vibe, I definitely recommend going and hitting it up next time you're in Bali. I would never eat alone at a place like this, You know what I mean? Too fancy. That's why I came with you. Eating in an Australian mall is a great idea. Assuming, of course, that you hate flavour. But Asian malls, well, they're just built a little bit differently. The food scene within them can be totally awesome. And it just so happens, would you believe, that my favourite restaurant in Jakarta is an Indo chain mall restaurant. Yep, unbelievable, right? Presenting Remboelan, a chain mall restaurant like no other. Look at that Indonesian soul food. Come on, it's got to be good, right? Let's go. So, welcome to Remboelan, a restaurant in a league of its own. And check out this menu. It's massive, it's beautiful, and if I could, I'd buy a copy for my bookshelf, but I can't. And most importantly as well, I challenge you to come here and find something on this menu that isn't completely delicious. I've been trying for a very long time. Just have a look at that, look at the images. It really is a piece of art. Now, I don't really have a favorite restaurant in the world, but if I did, I guess it would make sense that it would be my favorite restaurant in my favorite food city. So, Remboelan, want to go steady? Enough of that. Let's get some food. I've got some gado-gado. Now, I've had this before. It's absolutely divine. That peanut sauce, so rich. Oh. Nasi bakar. Now it's cooked in the banana leaf and it's got some smoked chicken in here. Lemongrass is spicy as well, spicy rice. So this is shredded beef with stink bean and a balado sauce. Stink bean just sounds disgusting, doesn't it? How do you think Tucker Eats thinks it tastes? The balado sauce is sweet and spicy, and the stink bean has this complex flavour. It's hard to describe it without making it sound disgusting because it's genuinely delicious. That is a work of art, culinary art. Delicious. This dish is stunning. And finally, the iga bumbu kemiri. Iga is short rib, so I assume it's going to taste like satay. Let's find out. Deep spicy caramel notes with the candle nut. Ridiculous. We're hitting 9s and 10s here in terms of flavor profile. Now, I always have the same conundrum when I come here. I order too much, and then I have to make choices. What to eat and what to not eat. So that's it, my top 10, done and dusted. A list that will no doubt evolve as I learn more about this vibrant food city, and as I move further afield of the MRT. Thanks heaps to the Reddit Jakarta crew for your suggestions and ideas. And of course, I'm not the authority, I'm just a guy with a camera. So, why don't you put your top 10 in the comments below, and we can discuss. And for the record, I didn't eat all of that food in a day, it was more like a week. A week? Does that mean I've been wearing the same clothes for a week? Continuity sure can be stinky. All right, that's it. Peace, love, and selamat makan. I need a salad.